all three of these Building Green Learning Institutes. So our sincere thanks to Felicia Davis and Dr. Pinkard and the whole UNCF team, as well as the partner organizations, HAKU, AHEC, Thurgood Marshall College Fund. And I really agree with the sentiments expressed that the networks that have been started here and the partnerships and the relationships across organizations, across sectors, I think will be really powerful going forward, and this momentum will really continue to build. So we're just really excited to be a part of it. And also really appreciative, of course, to the Kresge Foundation for making it possible. I think these institutes have shown that it was a very smart, strategic, and synergistic investment by the foundation. So we're looking forward to staying involved and continuing to go from here. Before I introduce our panel and bring them up here, I just want to quickly give an overview about one of our major projects at Second Nature, which is the American College and University President's Climate Commitment, the ACU-PCC, which is an acronym that gets easier to say, I promise. You just have to say it 20 or 30 times every day for 3 years. It really starts to roll off the tongue. But the initiative was launched about 3 years ago, and just quickly on this structure, it's led by presidents and chancellors of colleges and universities across the country, 686 now with our newest member, Elizabeth City. Thank you very much, and congratulations for joining this network. And the presidents and chancellors really run the initiative. It's governed by a steering committee of 22 presidents and chancellors that set all the policy and make the decisions for where the initiative will go. And it's staffed and supported by our staff at Second Nature in partnership with a whole host of other organizations, really. Primarily ASHE, the Association for the Advancement of Sustainability in Higher Education, but also Clean Air, Cool Planet, who developed the carbon calculator that a lot of colleges are using, and NWF's Campus Ecology Program, the National Association of Environmental Law Societies, and on and on. There's really a great network of organizations working to support these institutions. So, and in addition, many of the higher education associations, APA, NACUBO, SCUP, and the like. So that's a little bit about the structure of it. And just a quick touch on what it is about. It's a commitment that presidents are making on behalf of the institution to incorporate climate and sustainability into the educational experience of all of their students. And also to create a plan to pursue climate neutrality in their campus operations. And the distinction there is important, that it's really a commitment to make that plan and to get the process going. So in that sense, fulfilling the terms of the commitment is a bit easier than it might sound at first blush in terms of creating a climate neutral campus, which is a very difficult challenge. But to stay in good standing with the commitment and be involved really just takes participation and fulfilling those reports. Thanks. But the actual work of implementing those plans once they've been developed is very difficult. And I think that's what we'd like to talk a little bit more about tonight with the panel. The process of fostering a culture of sustainability and incorporating sustainability into campus operations is full of many challenges and requires often unprecedented collaboration across departments, across organizations, across sectors. And so to do that, it really requires leadership at all levels of the organization or the institution. So we're very lucky to have an esteemed panel to join us, full of leaders from not only higher education, but also industry, from the president or chancellor, CEO level, from managerial levels, and from student level. And so we're really excited to learn a little bit about what folks are doing from these different perspectives to bring this into reality. So without further ado, it's my great pleasure to introduce, and I guess I'll ask the panelists to come up and have a seat, bring your name tags. First, Dr. Mary Spangler, the Chancellor of the Houston Community College System and co-chair of one of the three co-chairs of the ACU-PCC Steering Committee. Dr. Bruce Leslie, Chancellor of the Alamos Community College District, based here in San Antonio, and also an ACU-PCC signatory. Karen Ellis, who is the Managing Director of Environmental Affairs at FedEx, and Illai Kenney, who you just heard from, a student at Howard University and involved with the Responsible Endowments Coalition. So I'm just going to ask each of the panelists, we can just go right through because I think we're a little pressed for time, and hear from each of them for 5 or 10 minutes, And then we'll open it right up for the questions for the audience. So, Dr. Spangler, if you could start us off, that'd be great.
Yes, I wasn't expecting to laugh as much as I have this evening. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make anybody laugh, so I want to apologize in advance. Do I hear a laugh? No. I'm really pleased to be here this evening. And George, you really spoke pretty much about what the organization does, and so I won't speak so much about my role on the steering committee or on the executive committee, but more about what we are doing at Houston Community College. And I will say, for us, it's a challenge because we cover over 600 square miles. We have 54 specific facilities on 22 different locations. So it's not like having one campus where you are working to make the commitment to reduce your greenhouse emissions and move to neutrality, carbon neutrality. One of the things that we did do was put our goals into our strategic plan. And I think that is an important commitment to make at the institution-wide level, and to have the board accept that, endorse it, and recognize that it really does start at the leadership level. So one of our goals was in signing the climate commitment to recognize that we want to reduce our carbon footprint. We want to align with the President's climate commitment. We want to go green. In fact, the buildings that we are working on the campus, on the campuses, are going to be to LEED specification. And so that is a commitment. We are working with the governing board's approval to do that. It does mean that there are perhaps more costs at the front end, but they will be recouped at the back end. Another important activity that we were able to engage in was to do an energy audit. That is something that I think all institutions can actively engage in. We secured the services of an audit firm that spent quite a bit of time going through all of our facilities and looking at opportunities for us to not just change light bulbs, but find ways to change out different systems to increase life expectancy for different kinds of occupancy standards. And we were able to find ways over a 15-year period to, in fact, save as much money as we were going to reinvest in the facilities, and in fact invest the money of $15 million and save that at the same time, so that we now have been able to reduce approximately our utility costs by 10% over the next 15 years. Our climate action plan, which has helped us significantly to promote climate neutrality and sustainability, is guiding our efforts. We've used the calculator that George has mentioned to help us to identify some of the greenhouse gas emissions that are significant problems, and those are working, I think, to advance our efforts and find ways to educate our stakeholders about